I have the book that Kennedy wrote, and I was actually reading it today. And I want to do a podcast and really talk about Fauci. And did you see the documentary that, or did you hear about the documentary that is coming out that Tucker Carlson is exclusively has it on his X account for a couple of weeks, and then it's going to be you can buy it and just download it. But there's a guy that researched the whole COVID thing, and he found out the whole thing was a scam, and that he saw that Fauci made tons of money. Plus, Fauci knew that it came from a lab, and there was a huge cover up. Did you hear about that?
I've heard grumblings. I guess it's all spilled milk, to be honestly.
So
I
you
mean,
don't think
there's
Fauci should be prosecuted for any of this stuff?
I like him to be, but he won't
Yeah,
be.
you sure? I hope he is.
Unless Trump can pull something off where they can. I mean, you'd have
Well,
to
now, if
show
he's if
direct.
he's pardoned, it's not going to happen. But do you
You
think?
you have to you'd have to show direct evidence of that Fauci was intentionally trying to murder people or kill people. I mean, what are you going to charge him with?
I mean, that's a good
Being
question. That's above my
a
pay
dick.
grade. But I mean,
There's nothing to call
well,
conspiracy.
they're saying he perjured himself a number of times in front of Congress. Now, have you seen what Rand Paul wrote a book, and I think it's about to come out. He's got all sorts of stuff on Fauci. He's like the one leading the charge. He thinks Fauci is a
Yeah,
super hyper criminal. Now, also, Fauci has done a lot of evil stuff around the world with his what is it called? Gain of function. Is that what that's called? And they experimented on little kids in Africa and stuff, and the AIDS crisis. Like, there's a lot of dark stuff. Like I'm reading the book, and dude, just the first 3 pages terrified me. Like, I did not realize that Fauci was so embedded in um, research on people and on animals when it came to biological warfare and germs and stuff like that. He's been doing it since the 80s. In fact, he's the guy who created the first AIDS cocktail that was killing people. Do you know that?
I heard about that. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he fucked it up, and people were dying, and they were like, but people were like, "Hey, I have AIDS. There's nothing else." It was in the '80s, of course. They were desperate, and so they were like, "Okay, you're rolling the dice," but it killed off a lot of people that had full blown AIDS. But I mean, obviously, they were in a very weak state, and they were gambling anyway. But yeah, and they had to start. The they had to pull the cocktail because it was completely killing people. So yeah, it's just he's at first I wasn't sure, but now that I'm reading the evidence, and Kennedy's book is crazy, and Rogan has talked about it. That's where I heard about it, and then Rogan talked about it, and I went online and bought the book. I got it in 3 days, started reading. I'm like, this is crazy stuff. And did you hear about how much he had $22 million in security every year? Did you hear that? He had a
like,
security team, Fauci.
yeah, I've
Crazy.
probably got a lot of death threats. I've probably got a lot of death threats, though. A lot of crazy people out there. A
Yeah,
lot of angry people out there.
they
But
said that they cut his
it's all
security.
still all this stuff has been in the news forever, dude. It's been out there. All this information has been available forever. Nobody cares.
I think a
Nobody's
lot
been
of people care.
prosecuted.
I
No
think
one, you know
tons of
what?
people. I care. You don't. You care. I mean, even though you're saying nothing's going to happen, you care.
Nothing's going to happen. What are you going to do? Prosecute them? Arrest them? For
Yeah.
what? Conspiracy? Murder? It's not going to happen. I mean,
You.
do you want a country that doesn't have any, bacterial weapons? You want no research being done at all?
No, I just think that he lied about. I personally think he lied to Congress. We all know he was making a ton of money off the vaccines. He was making a cut, which he lied about.
Maybe he was.
He was, and
You know, so,
I
so how
to
much money did
me,
Pfizer make? How
yeah,
much
no.
money did Johnson make?
Well, I'm not saying that
I
they
mean,
shouldn't be looked into. I'm just saying that this guy made us do a lot of things that he didn't have to. And there's a lot of video where he was saying, okay, we're going to, social distancing here, but not social distancing there, mask that, a lot of stuff he said wasn't true. Plus, the vaccine, a lot of people are saying that, I got the shot. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I got sick 2 times that year. I can't say it was the shot, but I felt like I got sicker more than I ever had, but I don't know if it's related. But I never, I don't think I had any serious issues from it. A lot of people said they did. There are a lot of people that say that people died from the shot. So they can't disprove it. That's what's concerning to me. Is a lot of, and we all know it did give young men heart problems. You saw that, right? And Fauci did come out and say, "Okay, that is a thing we discovered."
Doesn't matter. None of it matters.
I don't
Nothing.
understand why you think that
Trump,
that wouldn't
Trump could have
be
fired
something to
him
look into.
anytime he wanted to.
What's that?
Trump could have fired him anytime he wanted to. Trump introduced him, Fauci, to the
True.
United States
Trump
on
did,
TV.
but he was already in the
Trump,
government doing
Trump did
he's
the
the expert.
Operation Warp Speed.
That's the
Trump's
guy
the
he
one
had.
who did the Operation Warp Speed, right? So no matter what happens, Trump was president. So he bears that responsibility of handling the whole COVID situation, okay? And Trump's not a virologist or virologist or virologist, whatever you call it. He's not a microbiologist, and I don't expect him to be, okay? But
Sure.
Trump introduced him as a celebrity to us all, okay? So Trump could have fired him anytime he wanted to and brought somebody else in.
Yeah, but
Somebody more
nobody knows.
competent.
No, we don't know until now. Like now, we know things that we didn't know back then.
Well, I mean, it's like I said, it's there's nothing to do about it now because nobody cares.
I
Nobody
disagree.
cares.
I think a lot of people care. I would say, I think because we're talking about it, people are talking about it.
Is there anybody at the White House protesting right now? Is there anybody burning pitchforks on Pennsylvania Avenue?
Well,
Is
just
there
because
anybody
people
holding
aren't
signs?
rioting doesn't mean
Nobody.
that there isn't like a faction of people in America that would love for him to be prosecuted.
The
I'm
thing
one of
is, dude,
them.
is
I'm
that
not protesting, but I'd love to see the guy get prosecuted. I think,
people
I think,
don't
I don't
understand.
think they should have forced the vaccine on people, and we know that they forced it on people. So I think people couldn't work in the healthcare industry without it. For example, right? And there are a lot of people that lost their jobs because they refused to take it, and they got paid out pretty good settlements. Trump's going to
Mm-hmm.
rehire people in the military. They fired a lot of people in the military who refused to take it. Trump's going to rehire all of them. So there are
Right?
there are things that they're doing to correct the mistakes the Biden folks did. So I'm just saying, I think there's smoke. If there's smoke, there's fire. I think there's something to it. But I disagree. I think a lot of people care just because they're not rioting or going through the Capitol like J6 doesn't mean they don't think that Fauci lied to the American people. I mean, how many times did he say it didn't come from that lab in Wuhan, but we all know it did. Now,
So what?
fair enough.
What is that? I mean, are we going to charge him with lying?
Well, if he perjured himself in front of Congress, I think that there's a good case to.
Okay, then charge him with lying in Congress.
Yeah, and I think that's what they'll get him.
Here's your fine. Probation, house arrest.
Ankle bracelet. What is he, like 85? He's really old.
Like, why do I give a flying F about what Tucker Carlson document? It doesn't matter.
It's not about Tucker Carlson. It's about a lot of people think
Nothing's going to happen. There's no one in the street protesting. There's no one holding
a lot of
signs up in
people
the
think.
air.
Look, I'll just say
There's
a lot of
no one
people
with
think the
pitchforks.
vaccine kill people. There are a lot of people that really believe that. So I think that's where they
So
come.
what?
So okay, I'll play devil's advocate, or I guess maybe you are. If the vaccine did kill people, you don't think there should be any consequences for that? If it was like
I would like to be.
we rushed
I would
it.
like to. I would like there to be consequences for everything, but there's not.
So you're kind of like you're being I guess what's the word? You're being a pessimist in the sense that you're like, sure, woulda, coulda, shoulda. It's not going to happen. Is where you're coming from. So
Not going to happen. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Well,
yeah.
there's no one standing in Pennsylvania Avenue right now with burning pitchforks and torches and holding signs up with
Rand
pictures of
Paul,
the dead relatives.
now Rand Paul talks about it every day. It seems like. I mean, every time I see it on
Yeah.
X. So he's a guy with a lot of influence. There's something. I mean,
Who
you're
cares?
saying people don't care, but Okay, you seem to think that Biden will pardon him, maybe, and that'll be it, and it's a non-issue. I
Even
think
if they don't pardon,
I,
pardon
I
him,
think he'll probably
nothing's
pardon
going
him.
to happen.
I don't, it'll be interesting. I mean, I can't disagree with that, but I can't agree with it because we've seen a lot of crazy stuff go on in Washington. I mean, every day it's something different. So you never know.
Right? Possible.
It is possible. You never know.